Hi, it's me again. I want to show you something else that I did. I did it about a year and a half ago. It's a combination of I know what I want and I want to do it right now. Fuck it, those are the parts I have. Let's try something out. And a bit of, but I want to make it look better than what I've seen. So it's kind of my rendition of what a Precision plus Music Man would look like. I thought this would be my workhorse. This would be the bass that I would use all the time because my favorite sound has to be the P bass sound by far. But I really like the funkiness of the Stingray, so I wanted a bass that could do both. I think this gets close to them. It does Stingray perfectly fine, but the P bass one, And there are a couple of reasons for that. First off is I cut the corners. So basically what I have in here, let me just explain what's going on. These two pickups are Sterling by Music Man Stingray pickups. One of them has 2 wires, so it's hardwired in series, which is the one I put in the neck, just like a P bass is in series. The second one is a 4-wire version, so I wired it in parallel. I modified it to wire it in parallel, and this is this one here. Both of them have the exact same specs. I measured the resistance and the inductance, and it's exactly the same. Then at the bottom, what's going on is I bought a Delano preamp, 2-band preamp, so it's Delano Sonar 2. It has a volume with push-pull, so that I can go from passive to active, blend pot to go from one pickup to another, and a 2-band EQ that's boost and cut, treble and bass. So what I mean by cutting corners, I don't really like how the split P looks, and that's why I went with 2 Stingray pickups instead. I like the big magnets, and I like the fact that it's just square, and so going that way was kind of fitting like the aesthetic part of it. The main thing basically is that I shouldn't have used the exact same pickup for both position. The reason why is when I wire this one in series, it gets really loud, and this one in parallel at the bridge also makes it thin sounding and quieter, so it sounds really unbalanced. Like this one is much stronger than this one, so I tried to fix that by putting this pickup lower, so now it kind of feels weird dragging my finger across all of these, and this one is really low, so it's not the perfect place to put your thumb on. Really, it's not a big deal. I'm losing a bit the definition as well. And as for the Sonar AQ, it sounds modern. I was looking for something more vintage. I ended up buying, let me show you. This is a pedal by Master FX. It's supposed to be a replica of the Stingray, the original Stingray preamp that was in Stingray basses, like the two band. It sounds really nice. It sounds vintage, but I barely use it, but I still use it more than the onboard preamp that I have right now. Another thing that was disappointed is the in-between position of both of them is really meh. I thought I would like the mix of both of them, but I really don't use it. If I could do things better, I would probably go all passive with maybe a bypass switch and go into that pedal, or I would go with a more vintage preamp on board that I can just switch on or off. I would probably buy maybe some kind of Delano P pickup that has a big pulse, or my ideal thing basically is I want Stingray pickup that replicates exactly how a precision based pickup would sound like, which I didn't find anything because most Stingray pickups are just, trying to be their own thing or to replicate the Stingray sound. So I'm going to show you a couple of tones that I use with that bass. I think I'm going to show you only passive tones because, like I said, I don't really use the active tones. So now I'm going to start with just a neck. Sounds great, it sounds like a smooth P bass. It's not as hard, as warm, as hot, but it's a nice tone. It's perfectly usable. Now let's go with the Music Man pickup, which is right here. Now I'm gonna go to the middle place. There we go. Now right in the middle, bit unbalanced, so one of them is stronger a bit. It sounds good. It adds a little bit of something, but what I found is that depending on where you play, the sound varies a lot. So I'm gonna show you exactly that same riff. I'm gonna play it with my hand towards the P and then with my hand towards the Stingray, and you're gonna see that it either sounds like a P pickup with more clarity or like a Stingray bass with a little bit more low end. Now let's start with the P position. if I go to Stingray, and I'm gonna try some active tones with the P bass. Halfway in the boost, so 75%, and same thing for the treble. Let's go with that. In the end, in conclusion, I was happy to do this. I figured out that if you use exactly the same pickup and you use it really close to each other, your middle tone or your all everything on tone is boring. So in my future build, I'm going to make sure that the neck and the bridge are very different from each other and they are more spaced out. I think it's nice. If you want to try it out, I encourage you to do it. I think it looks good like that. I think there's a bass that looks like that, like a Warwick Corvette bass. Honestly, I would suggest you to try it out, but make sure that both these pickups are different. Ciao.